So I need some help, y'all. About 30 days until Pony's in the smoky. No intake manifold, no turbo, transmission's gone. Plus I gotta do some paint. Pray for me, y'all. I need some help.
Let's bring them on, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, my people, and welcome back to the SN95 Power channel. Feels like I haven't done a video on this build for you guys in about a month because it seems like it's been either freezing cold or snowing for 40 days and 40 nights. So the weather out here in the Midwest has just been horrendous. Freezing weather, snow. It's just been too cold to get out here in the garage and do anything. Now I do have a propane heater. It's like 75,000 BTUs, but it's just still not enough because as soon as you turn off the propane, the temperature just drops like a rock. So we're back, weather's getting warmer. Plus, I'm on a time crunch. Pony's in the Smokies is coming up in probably about 30 days or a little over 30 days. And I don't have a running car. I don't even have a transmission in my car. And I have a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do before Pony's in the Smoky, and I'm running out of time. So, it's at the point now I got to come out here and, maybe put some extra layers on until it starts warming up consistently. So one of the things that I wanted to do was switch over to a short runner intake manifold. This is a Downs box intake that I've had for some time. Never put it on the car, but these things are just getting harder and harder to find. That when it popped up, I kind of grabbed it and just been sitting on it. And I'm just kind of curious how this short runner will work with my my turbo setup. I know in the past, guys talk about how good of intake this is on boosted applications, I shouldn't say as opposed to this long runner, but this GT40 intake is proven under boost to put down some good numbers. But I'm going to show you something about this tubular intake, upper intake, where I think it's a design flaw, and I think it might not be a good choice for an all-out performance intake manifold. And I say that relative to like the Explorer, the GT40 and the GT40 style intake manifold. So like the Explorer intake or the Cobra intake, they don't have the same design flaw, I believe, as this one. I don't have a Explorer manifold around me right now. It's over at the build garage. But I'm going to show you what I think is the issue with this manifold. So this manifold I had sent out to Tony at Big Dogs Porting. I explained the importance of porting an upper manifold in my 300 rear horsepower junkyard build. And I'm going to go over some of the things that he's done to this intake manifold. And also just show you the difference between, a long runner. As you can see, the runner is long as opposed to this short runner. So that's what the term long runner versus short runner manifolds come from. So let's get into this video a little bit more. So my GT40, my tubular GT40 intake. Do you really have to make a distinction on that? I know guys will fuss at you if you have an Explorer intake manifold and you call it a GT40. Guys get a little uptight about that. But so my manifold that was ported by Tony at Big Dogs. One thing I like about him is when he puts this on the flow bench, he gives you the before average of all the ports and the after of all the ports. So before, this thing flowed 218, after 277. Now some people say that porting the upper intake manifold does not gain you anything. I'm not sure because I haven't had this thing on the dyno since I installed it. And you know, you can see he's gotten down in these long runners pretty far. Another thing that he does, if you send it, is your spacer. So he ports the spacer also, so you know you have just a smooth transition. You know, there's no hump here to cause, you know, turbulence or whatever effect that would have of having, you know, this spacer smaller than that port. And so if we go over here to the downs box, you know, it's just a straight short runner, you know. Now I don't know what these things flow in stock form, but gosh, you know, I would suspect this flows probably more than that upper, that ported upper. And getting back to the port upper, I told you about this little design flaw that I think is the issue. So if you look right here at this throat, you can see how this thing is pinched. And it's pinched like that because this bolt right here needs to go in to the lower intake. So they pinch it to accommodate for that bolt. And as you see, gosh, I said that. I said as you well, I said as you can see. I didn't say as you can't see. So all right. But if you take a look at this one, you know, you don't see that. And I believe the Explorers and the Cobra GT40s are the same way, where you don't have this little pinch. Like I said, I don't have that manifold with me right now, but I'm kind of curious. So if you guys know if the Explorer or the Cobra manifolds have the same pinch, leave a comment. And I'm gonna look inside this throttle body port and show you. It's going to be obvious, like the restriction that this little pinch causes. So you can see this side is where the pinch is, and you can see how it's just a obstruction. You know, it's not a free flow going through this throat right here. And if you look at the port work, it looks real nice what Tony did. You know, this opening in stock form is a lot smaller. And I think he opened this up to like 75 millimeters. I don't remember exactly, but some great port work. And if you look at the downs box, big difference, you know. There's hardly any obstruction going in here. You know, kind of at the floor right there, you see a little obstruction, but for the most part, it's just a straight through flow design, you know, right to the short runner. So it's definitely a huge difference between these two. So I mean, ultimately, what's the plan here? You know, realistically, what I want to do for you guys is I want to get track times and dynos on both these manifolds on my car. Now, you know, you're supposed to sacrifice a little down low with this intake, and it's supposed to make up for it up top. You know, the thing that makes these long runners so popular is, you know, they're torque monsters down low, and it makes it a real good street manifold in stock form. But I'm kind of curious, since I'm boosted and I have ported heads, and I'm just kind of curious if, you know, that old saying will hold true in my application. You know, I'm kind of curious, you know, what kind of torque numbers I would see, you know, right around 2,500 to 3,000 RPM for this one as opposed to this. See, you know, in all honesty, you know, if you're out here in the streets rolling, you know, right around 2,500 RPM is, you know, a sweet spot as far as, you know, taking off from a 40 roll or something like that. But, you know, if you're at the track, from a dig, I can see maybe how this down low could, you know, not be as beneficial as this one. But then again, you know, with my torque converter and my two-step, you know, I'm building boosts at, you know, 2,500 RPM. You know, I'm going to be launching at around that RPM anyway. So that's why I say I'm kind of curious to see, you know, track times more than dynos. You know, I'm not really into dyno numbers, to be quite honest with you. So I'm kind of curious to see the difference between these two. So what I want to do is I have to get this thing polished up. I don't want to put it on here black for Ponies in the Smoky. So, you know, I would think me polishing this thing up is going to take about a week. And also, shout out to Jim at Four Strokers. I was talking to him, and I found the build sheet on my cylinder heads. I think it was last year I had them sent in, and they put a little, they shimmed it to give me a little bit more seat pressure. And I really think my issue with the car breaking up top is its valve float. And so right now, I think it's only about 130 pounds on the seat. And I forgot the install height, but it's not enough. So I'm working with Jim right now to try to get me some you know, LS style springs to go on these GT40 X heads. And one thing I love about Jim, you know, there's some other websites that say, you know, this is a drop-in kit for, you know, GT40 heads, GT40 X heads, whatever like that. And, you know, it's one thing that he told me is like, you know, you better, you know, measure your valve stems height, because, you know, you don't know how, you know, if you bought them used, which I bought these used, you don't know what size valve stems are up in there. So, you know, he could sell me a spring package with a valve seal for, you know, something that's at for 500 a valve stem, and I might have a tapered, I keep saying stem guide, for a valve guide, and, you know, it's not gonna work. So, you know, instead of him just telling me something just, you know, to make a quick buck, he, you know, actually guided me through what to do. So I'm waiting for a spring compressor to come, and I gotta take a spring off, and I just gotta measure the valve guides and just make sure, you know, what size seals I would need, and then he can come up with a spring package around that valve guide size. So that's one thing. Another thing, you know, I didn't really want to show people this, but I've got some issues with this door. I got some high spots and low spots that I'm trying to take care of before Ponies in the Smoky. My guy John Coates, who's got like the baddest Mustang out here, he's been giving me some tips on what to do to fix this paint myself. So that's another thing that I have to do outside of installing the transmission and the intermediate clutches. So we got our hands full, but we're gonna get it done. The car is gonna be there no matter what, even if it's like you got a prime door on it or a prime bumper or whatever, we're still gonna be there, because I want to meet you guys. I want to get a chance to see some of these beautiful rides in person that you have. So definitely, if you are running a short runner intake and you've come from a long runner intake, tell me what your thoughts are on, you know, going from a short to a long. It doesn't matter if it's natural aspirated or boosted. I just want to know your feedback on it. Also, you know, I'm still trying to get to that 1,000 mark to give away the Roadrunner converter, so spread the word. Also, check out the Instagram page. I appreciate the love that I'm getting from IG. I've got another versus kind of thing coming up that's I'm working on. Some of you guys might have gotten some messages from me on that, so keep an eye out on that. So like I say, you here, go ahead and subscribe, give me a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Head over to the Instagram page. If you haven't shot me your information on your SN95, go ahead and shoot it to me. I'll make sure I post up on the page. So I appreciate everybody's time. Stay warm out there, and God bless.